In the words of Lex Friedman, we need more citizen journalists. And this series will tap into your journalistic potential. I promise. Preserving cultural heritage. In cultural preservation, a seemingly noble endeavor lies a web of assumptions and unquestionable beliefs that demand critical examination. While often well-intentioned, the preservationist impulse risks entrenching the power structures it seeks to undermine. To dissect this topic with the insight and intellectual rigor, we must delve into the intricacies of cultural heritage, interrogate the conventional wisdom surrounding its preservation, and highlight the potential pitfalls hidden beneath its romanticized veneer. At the heart of the preservationist agenda lies the notion that cultural heritage possesses an inherent and immutable value that must be safeguarded at all costs. This belief is often intertwined with a romanticized idea of tradition and an uncritical reverence for the past. But let us not pause for a moment and reflect upon the irony of such adoration. History is replete with instances where the preservation of cultural heritage has served as a weapon in the hands of the powerful, selectively preserving certain narratives while obliterating others. The conservation of cultural heritage, far from being a neutral act, can become a tool for social control and perpetuating existing power structures. Consider, for instance, imperial powers' plunder of ancient artifacts during the colonial exploits. The British Museum stands today as a testament to the spoils of the empire, housing countless treasures stripped from the lands it once subjugated. While proponents of cultural preservation might argue that these artifacts are now accessible to a broader audience and can be appreciated for their historical significance, we must not overlook that their acquisition was rooted in a violent and exploitative history. To revere such acts of plunder implicitly condone the brutality and domination upon which they were built. Furthermore, the preservationist impulse often leads to the ossification of culture, stifling its ability to evolve and adapt to changing times. Cultural heritage is not a static entity. It is an ever-evolving tapestry woven by the interplay of countless voices and experiences. To freeze it in time, encasing it within the glass confines of museums, or confining it to quaint, tourist-friendly replicas of the past is to deny its vitality and dynamism. Culture, like language, must be allowed to breathe, adapt, and incorporate new influences to remain relevant and meaningful to successive generations. A further challenge to the preservationist agenda lies in the question of whose heritage is being preserved. Far too often, the dominant cultures and their narratives receive preferential treatment, while marginalized voices are silenced or relegated to the periphery. This perpetuates a skewed and homogenized understanding of history, erasing the experiences and contributions of those on the fringes. By challenging the conventional wisdom of preservation, we open up the possibility of amplifying these marginalized voices and engaging with the stories that the dominant narrative has silenced. Critics might argue that cultural heritage would be lost to the ravages of time and the relentless march of progress without the preservationist impulse. However, such a claim overlooks the inherent resilience of culture and its capacity for regeneration. History has shown us that even in the face of destruction, culture can reassert itself, reinvent, and adapt. The ruins of Pompeii, for instance, stand not as a testament to the preservationist impulse, but as a reminder to the enduring power of cultural memory, capable of transcending physical decay. In pursuing cultural preservation, we must not lose sight of the dangers beneath its surface. We must challenge the assumption that the past holds all the answers, that tradition should be blind and unthinkingly read, and that preserving cultural heritage is a universal human endeavor. Instead, let us embrace a more nuanced and critical approach that recognizes the complexities of culture and the inherent power dynamics at play. To truly honor our cultural heritage, we must continuously reinterpret and reevaluate. We must create spaces for marginalized voices to be heard, challenging the dominant narratives that have long dictated our understanding of the past. Finally, we must acknowledge that culture is a living, breathing entity shaped by the ebb and flow of time and the myriad interactions of diverse individuals and communities. Let us resist the temptation to succumb to the effortless allure of conventional wisdom. Instead, let us approach the preservation of cultural heritage with a keen eye and a critical mind, ready to challenge the sanctity of the past and explore new avenues for artistic expression. Only through such a rigorous and unapologetic pursuit of intellectual inquiry can we hope to evolve our understanding of cultural preservation and create a more inclusive and dynamic future.